I've gathered 16 secrets about the Love and Mist Hashira that will definitely help you get some perspective on the main Hashira of Season 3 of Demon Slayer. We'll start the video with some of the more common known facts and end the video with the most insane secrets of the show. Starting off at 100%, did you know that Muichiro can sleep anywhere? If he feels like it, he could drop in the middle of the road even during a thunderstorm and just lay on the ground, close his eyes, and fall asleep. I know that soldiers can fall asleep quickly, but this is on another level. Speaking on another level, we all got excited to finally see mist breathing animated for the first time. Just look at this shot. But this scene actually hides a very dark truth about Muichiro's past that I'm going to reveal later, so you'll want to stick around because it's going to get intense. But not as intense as Muichiro's crow, because let me tell you, this creature is super creepy. Back when Tanjiro first saw Muichiro practice his sword skill with Yoriichi Type 0, he was amazed by his skills. Muichiro's crow immediately screamed at Tanjiro by saying he's a genius and on a completely different level from him. The thing about Muichiro's crow is that she can get very jealous of him. This is why he can't have any pets. I mean, I know having a crow is important for the Hashira, but imagine Muichiro talking to some cute girl on a date, and the crow just pecking her on the head out of jealousy. I would call it Nosuke immediately. On another note, did you know the reason why Muichiro is wearing such loose clothes that are 3 times his size? Well, it's because it fits perfectly with his breathing style. You see, mist breathing is all about minimizing the predictability of your movements. And by wearing such large-sized clothes, the demons wouldn't be able to see his joint moving as easily, making his strikes unpredictable. Like in the famous line, the punch you can't see is the punch that'll knock you out. But only in this case, it's a sword, and the thing that'll get knocked out is the demon's head. Speaking of knocking demons' heads off, did you know that Muichiro actually killed a demon before he became a demon slayer? Muichiro lived in the woods alongside his twin brother Yuichiro, who was a real cynic. You see, the Ubuyashiki family knew that both twins are special and destined for greatness. More on that later, so stick around. So Amane was sent to the woods where they both lived to offer them to join the Demon Slayer Corps. But Yuichiro screamed at her and told her to get lost. But Amane didn't give up. She came to their house multiple times, even after Yuichiro threw water on her face. One night, a demon came to their house, and seeing that, Yuichiro jumped to protect his brother, dying in the process. This is the first time when Muichiro unleashed his true power, and single-handedly killed the demon with his fists and every tool he could find. I mean, look at this poor demon. Talk about overkill. Back in the beginning of the video, I promised I would talk about this scene. After Muichiro was trapped by Gyoko in a water vase, Kotetsu helped him by blowing some air bubbles inside the trap, so Muichiro could use breathing style and release himself from it. At that moment, Muichiro remembered his past and the source of his name. You see, the Mu in Muichiro's name is also used to write the word Mugen, which means infinity. Why is that important? Well, Muichiro realized that if he tried to help others, he could gain an infinite amount of strength, and he's a chosen one. And in that moment, he awakened his Demon Slayer mark. Back when his crow talked to Tanjiro, she said that Muichiro is a descendant of sun-breathing users. But this is not 100% accurate. Muichiro is actually a descendant of the moon-breathing user Kokushibo. Kokushibo couldn't master sun-breathing and invented his own style because of it. But he is related by blood to Yoriichi, the inventor of sun-breathing. So the crow is kind of right and wrong at the same time. And this is why he was able to become a Hashira in just 2 months and defeated an Upper Moon all by himself. But this is not all. One of the coolest moments in Muichiro's fight against Gyoko was when Muichiro was about to land the final blow on the demon. Muichiro actually used a reference from Bleach to mock Gyoko. Koyoharo even illustrated it in the extra pages, showing Aizen behind Muichiro while he's saying that line, which is absolutely insane. But what's more insane is the fact that we're around halfway through the video and we still didn't talk about Mitsuri. So let's do just that. Mitsuri was born in the Meiji period among 5 siblings and displayed an unnatural strength at a very young age because of her unique muscle composition, shocking even her mother, who herself was known for her strength. She grew up eating much more than the average person and developed an unnatural hair color as a result of her eating too much sakura mochi. So what's the problem, you ask? Well, turns out men don't really like women with this kind of pickup skills. You see, Mitsuri was born with a special kind of muscle frame. On the outside, she looks thin and feminine, but on the inside, her muscles are 8 times as dense as a regular human. To give some perspective, we all know how strong chimps are, right? But chimps' muscle density is only 35% greater than a human's, and a big chimp can literally lift you and throw you. Just imagine what Mitsuri can do with her freakish body. After she got rejected from a suitable husband, she dyed her hair black, pretended to be weak, and forced herself to eat a normal amount in an attempt to fit in more with other girls, even if it negatively impeded her well-being. Shortly after making these adjustments to her physical appearance, Mitsuri was approached by a potential partner. However, she became doubtful over whether or not pretending to be a different person would truly work out for her in the end. Mitsuri then encountered Kagaya Ubuyashiki, who told her to reject normalcy and embrace who she was, as her strength was a gift. Because of this encounter, she joined the Demon Slayers and used her skill and ridiculous strength to rise to the status of Hashira. While in the core, she adopted her idea of finding a man stronger than her to marry. However, this didn't work out because, with the exception of her fellow Hashira, she was much stronger and more skilled than the rest of her fellow members. Speaking of her amazing skills, in Season 3 we're going to see Mitsuri in all of her glory fighting against Zohakuten and some low-life fish demons, using love breathing, which is a style based on flexibility and weird movements. But what you probably didn't know is that Mitsuri invented love breathing because of a special reason. You see, Mitsuri was the Tsugoku of the one and only Kyojuro Rengoku. She was originally supposed to use flame breathing, but there was a major issue. Rengoku's training was too much. And when even a freak like Mitsuri with her abnormal muscles couldn't handle Rengoku's training, you know that his training is hard. So she invented her own breathing style and named it love breathing. But that's not all. You see, she had to find names for all of her attacks, and she came up with the weirdest naming ever. Some of her attacks are named based on cats. Why? Because she used to own cats as a child, and she loves them very much. Another fun fact you probably didn't know is that Guillaume and her used to talk about cats from time to time because the big guy likes cats as well. I bet it's a funny experience to see a 7'2" giant talking about kitties. Another funny experience to watch is Mitsuri's relationship with food. She can eat 100 dumplings in one sitting, which is insane. And that's not all. She also has her own garden where she grows veggies she likes and has a beehive to harvest honey so she can put it on her pancakes that's topped with tons of butter. Seriously, I think she should become the Love Hashira. Love for food, that is. But this isn't the only thing that's unique about her. Her sword is one of a kind that's specially designed to meet her needs. Because her breathing style is focused a lot on flexibility and weird movements, she needs a sword that can bend in weird ways. But what 99% of you didn't know is that her sword was actually created by the son of the swordsmith village chief, Tekin Kawahara. Try to say this 5 times in a row. We all know that she has a very positive and sometimes over-the-top personality. However, as her colleagues died one after another, she sometimes couldn't help but tremble in anger and sadness. But the amount of anger she has is nothing compared to the amount of anger fans had when they never got to see Mitsuri and Obanai together. You see, Obanai never had the chance to confess his love to Mitsuri, and he only did it after they both were dying after the final battle against Muzan. If you'd like to learn about the other Hashira, please watch our video 44 Facts You Didn't Know About the Hashira.